What if enlightenment wasn't a distant dream, but a reality you could experience now? Not a journey, not a lifetime of searching, but instant and permanent enlightenment, right here, right now. I Am Divinity is the birthplace of a new era in human consciousness. We are not just a movement, we are the pioneers of instant and permanent enlightenment. Through our revolutionary practices like divine focus, we guide you to your ultimate truth, the realization that you are divine. This isn't a fleeting moment of clarity, it's a lasting state of higher consciousness. Together, we are raising humanity's vibration from 210 to 700 and beyond. We are awakening the world to the truth that consciousness is the new currency. This is your moment to awaken, to transform, to become enlightened. Are you ready to step into your divinity?
Hi there, my name is Jamie Devine. Welcome to I Am Divinity.
Here at I Am Divinity, what we do is we help you unlock your inner power.
So that's what we're doing. Don told me his vision of raising humanity's consciousness to the level of 700 on the scale, enlightenment.
That's power.
Imagine how healthy our community will be. They're so pure and so powerful.
Taken off and all over the world. And what's happening is there's a common question that keeps popping up with everyone. How do I do? What do I have to do? What do I have to do? And you know what? We made it so simple for those of you right now, especially those of you that are in Costa Rica, that the only thing you have to bring, is you. That's it. It's not going to cost you any money in this turnaround. And all you need to do is bring how with you. I'm going to break down the word how. Okay, so here's what it is. Here's what you need to bring to the table. Yes, for now. Might change after, but for now, H-O-W. H is for honesty. I'll be asking you questions. Yes, I'll be asking you. That's all I do is ask questions, actually. That's all I do is ask questions. Because you're going to say something, then I'm going to ask another question based on what you said. Then you're going to say something, and then I'm going to ask you another question based on what you just said. And they have to be honest. And there's zero judgment from me or from any of the team. There's literally zero judgment on your answer. It's like, okay, that's the program you have running. That's the program you have running. And I'm looking at that. And so how, honesty is the first thing you need to bring to the table. Everybody got that? Clear? Good. Now the next one is the O, which is open-minded. You are going to get stuck in the first 36 seconds if you're trying to analyze everything and trying to figure everything out. That ain't going to work. Okay? So you need to be open-minded. Never heard of that before. Never heard this. You're right. You did not. Guaranteed you did not. Okay? There's no one on the planet talking about this. There's no one on the planet has any idea how to go from 210 to 700 on the consciousness scale in under 2 hours. Not a chance. But that's what I've perfected, and that's what I do. So you try, well, how does that work? How does that work? Simple. Okay? You keep an open mind. I will guide you. Okay? You get that? How clear is that? So now we got the O and W. That's the third one. Now, what the W stands for is a willingness. You have to be willing. I am not going to wrestle with you. I'm not. I'm going to pin you down with a question, an answer to a question that I asked, and it will just proceed, and you just give the answer and give the answer and give the answer and give the answer, and that's it. Okay? So there has to be that willingness. If you're resistant and not wanting to give me the answers and questioning me and all of that, ain't going to work. Matter of fact, I won't even work with you. Yeah. No, I'm not here to struggle on this simple version of this transformation. Okay? So if that's your plan, you might want to find someone else that fits with you not being resistant. But I'm telling you, resistance comes with this program because that's your ego. That's the ego that's got you tricked. All of those. So you go to the opposite. The how is like, you know, I don't know how it works. It doesn't make sense. All of those kind of things. That's a waste of my time, especially, and yours. And the results. Ain't going to happen for you. Okay? Now, you know, something that just came flash by me just there now. I think it's 3 weeks ago now. Yeah, about 3 weeks. And I work with a lady. I got a call from friends of Jamie and I. I didn't get the call, Jamie did. And the call was, my mom's in the hospital in Kelowna, and she's been given 2 days to live. Okay? So that was, can Dawn come to Kelowna and work with her? So some of you have heard this story before. We were 5-hour drive away, and we just got to here where we are right now, and got the call, dropped everybody off, and headed back for another 5-hour drive, and then took 3 plane rides to get to Kelowna. And the key about that was like they didn't ask what I was going to do. Matter of fact, I just told the son and the husband to just stand aside. Do not interfere in any way. Anyway, and I just started the process. And 2 hours later, you wouldn't know it was the same lady. And I was just boom, 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 boom with questions from her answers. Question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. I didn't go in with a how. I didn't. I just knew that I would deal with whatever was coming at me. And so, and like I said, they were saying she's not getting out of the hospital, and she probably won't survive any more than 2 days. Okay? That afternoon, she walked around the hospital floor 4 times. How is that? How is that? Okay. Now, I think it was 6 days later, another friend of Jamie and I's found out that he had a couple of days to live, and he was in Vancouver. And went to see him, and there was this kicking and screaming, literally arguing with me. You're just giving me a hard time all the way through, and they kicked us out of his house. And 2 days later, he died. So the willingness, the honesty, open-minded and willing. Carol was honest. He was open-minded, not knowing a damn thing of what I was talking about, just answering my questions. Okay? And completely willing. Completely willing. She never once questioned me anything. I asked a question, she gave me an answer. Asked a question, gave me an answer. Okay? So that's that honesty, open mind, and willingness. And the one that was the most open, honest, and willing was Carol. And she's very much alive, very bright. Actually, it was, I think, well, there was a couple of numbers, and this is on like a whole video, and it was she. Let me see how that worked. Oh yeah, so it was. There was something that required. Oh yeah, so there was numbers. It was telomeres, and they dropped on the same day, from 39 to 7. Yeah, 39 to 7. How crazy is that? And I'm saying this because she was honest with me. Every question I asked, she didn't argue with me. She didn't disagree with me. She didn't do anything. She just, I asked a question, she gave it to me. Done. Open-minded. None of the people in that room knew anything about what I was going to do. Josh knew a bit because he took the process about 5 years ago. So he knew, that's why he called, because he knew. Okay? But he still didn't interfere. And the mother didn't, and the father didn't. Completely open-minded, even though it was out of this world. No recollection of what I was doing at all. Okay? So honest, open-minded, and completely willing. Completely willing. That's the how. And our other friend was the total opposite. We went to his house, Vancouver, and I started doing the same concept as I did with Carol. Nothing different. And he started, we spent about 20 minutes together, and he was really smooth, and it was going wonderfully well, and everything. And then he started fighting. And he started fighting and arguing and disagreeing with me and all of that. And then his wife and his daughters started doing the same. Fighting me. Okay? So there was 0 willingness, 0 open-minded, and 0 honesty. And he died, it was either 2 or 3 days later. Yeah. So those are the dire consequences. So you do need to bring how, just honesty. Honesty. I'm going to ask you rapid fire questions. You won't have time to think. It'll be just boom, 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 boom. Okay. And you'll get as much out of the question I'm asking somebody that you're sitting beside as if it was asking yourself. Yeah. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing that you can get the same similar results sitting beside somebody that has all these programs running as I'm working with the person with all the programs. Yeah. So it's pretty profound, actually. Really is. And so I'm saying that those two results are absolutely diametrically opposed in results. They are. Carol gets, 100% of the results. She's been home now for 2 weeks. Or more, yeah, I think she left the hospital 3 days later. Yeah, to go home, not to go to the morgue, like they said. Okay, big difference. And I remember on the 4th day, I think, Jamie sent me a picture of a lady in a blue dress with the door open in a vehicle and smiling. And I just took a quick look and Jamie, who's that? I said, oh, that's Carol. Excuse me. I didn't even recognize her. And I had seen her 3 or 4 days earlier. She had expanded that much. Now, it'd be awesome if every one of you listening, everyone that ever takes the process, are as open as Carol. Open as Carol. No questions. What's this mean? Why are you doing that? Where'd that come from? Not interested. Not interested. Nada. Okay? Nada. So just give me the answers. Like that. Now, unfortunately for Harry, he didn't make it. Fortunately for Harry, he listened to the ego in him, and he listened to the ego in his family. And we got the bad news 2 days later, 2 or 3 days. So that's how serious this is. No messing around. There's no messing around. I take it very, very, very seriously. I do everything I can to make you be responsible. Take responsibility for your part of the. And so yeah, Carol's doing amazing, and unfortunately, Harry is no longer with us. Those are the two. So once again, Carol had 100% honesty, 100% open-minded, not knowing one thing about what I did and how I did it. Not once did she mention it. And absolute willingness. Boom. Those were her results. Okay, so you figure that out. You do the math. You do the math. You tell me if you're willing to have those 3 characteristics bring to the table. Yeah, that's what you'll need. Clear? So very exciting, to say the least. Like when you think about Harold, 2 days to live, doing amazing. Doing absolutely amazing. Harry had similar, you're going to die in a couple of days. He did. Yeah. Because he fought me. At kitchen table. Fought me. Yeah. So, where's the open-minded? No. Where's the willing? No. Definitely no. And not giving me all the information I needed. So he had 3 X's. Carol had 3 check marks. That was the difference. One is very much alive. One is has already gone. a week or 10 days now. Of course, and really, really unfortunate. With Terry, we'd been friends for a long time, 5 years or so. And yeah, so those are the consequences of not having the how. Really are. That's the consequence of the not having the how. So I want you right now, like, we have a function here in Costa Rica in what? January 5th. And what's the name of this town we're in? Porta Viejo. And yeah, and that's in person. And so that would be pretty exciting. I think it's around 70. And you know, the key about this is another thing that's amazing with the I Am Divinity. Like, seriously, it doesn't matter the numbers. We're going to have 70 in that room. Okay? And that could be 700. And the way I do the process, everybody gets it. Now, it's a little more accurate for that person that I will be using as a demo, and it'll be multiple ones, okay? But you'll be able to get the same, very similar results. So, how amazing is that? That's the divinity. Like, doesn't belong in a shoebox. You know, it's like, it's so alive. It's like these trees all around. Aliveness in every one of these trees. That's it. So, really exciting. And I don't remember the last. I didn't talk to the boys last night. How many they have all over the planet right now? But we're just going to start a whole event where we just go from one city or one country all over. And yeah, so really, really, really exciting, to say the least, actually, put it mildly. So once again, it is best for you to stay home if you can't have those free, because it will not work for you. Not because the process doesn't work, because you won't allow it. But I'm telling you, if you show up like Carol, it has to work. Absolutely has to work. That's for sure. Okay? Excuse my tickle. Got a tickle in my throat here. So, I want you to, on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to think about, honesty. How honest am I prepared to be? Am I prepared to be to share whatever it is that's needed to be shared based on my question? Okay? And it's like 30%, 70%, Carol 100%, Carol 100%. Harry, I had to fight with him. I knew his background because we were friends and we had done work together. Vancouver. I knew this. And still he was fighting. He was fighting me. Here, Jamie and I did all this travel to see what we could do to assist our friend. And he kicked and screamed and fought and argued and all of that. Yeah. And then finally they kicked us out of their house. Yeah, they did. And then another, I think, possibly a day, day and a half of arguing back and forth with Jamie on WhatsApp. Yeah. So he fought to the grave. He was that's on how unwilling he. It was really tough for us. You know, we both know him. He's a friend of ours. He was in my first, in December 21st. Yeah, December 21st, 20, 2019. 19? Yeah, 2019. I did a free cancer, anybody with cancer. And I limited it to 10 people. And I didn't know Harry at the time. That's where I met him. And yeah, there was 10 people that took my process. And three, it was three. I was in, 2000, 2019 or 2020. Doesn't matter, but it was one of those. And the three that didn't qualify, like they fought. They fought and resisted all of that. And others, like one guy had a stomach out, like I swear he was 20 months pregnant, and he flew all the way from the eastern seaboard, eastern United States, to Vancouver. And be damned if he wasn't resistant. He had dropped his stomach from like out here, like 10 months pregnant, to 2 in that process. And then 2 days later, he had reversed it. 2 days later, he reversed it and blamed me. He blamed me. Same as I was blamed for Harry. Yeah. There was no blame with Carol. Nothing. So, you understand what I'm saying here? Like, it's the ego. Ego trying to be in control, and it will fight to the death. I mean, I had, I think it was 8 near-death experiences. 8 near-death experiences. So ego was doing everything it could to take me out. Yeah, I had numerous car accidents. I had, oh wow. I worked in construction. I was doing the Banff Park Lodge up in Banff. And I was drilling an insert into the ceiling. And I hit a power line, major power line. And a flame come out from the gun I was using, drilled a hole, and it went by me like this on both sides of my ears. Okay? That's how close I came to being electrocuted. Rosie and I were in Thailand with the tsunami, and in 2004, I think it was 2014, sorry, somewhere in that vicinity. I'm not very good at this, remembering these kind of things when I'm doing this. And at 20, let me see. Oh yeah. So I went. I always go somewhere like to do my infinite awareness. At this time, I went down to this little village. We were in Koh Phi Phi Island, little piss pot of an island. They hardly anybody on it. And I walked down town, and then I come back, and we got back and I got back at 10 o'clock, I think, or 9:30, somewhere in that vicinity. And we were lying on the beach, Rosie and I. And about 10 minutes later, Rosie said, "You know what? It's too hot here. We can't be this much in this sun, for this length of time. We'll have to go." But okay. So we left at 22:11. Okay, that's when we left. And get it right? So 22:10 or 22:11, whichever one it was. And 10 minutes after we left the beach, we walked up. Like there was 3 tier of cabins, and we were on the 2nd tier. And we left the beach, and 10 minutes later, there was nothing on the beach. So cabins, took out boats, yachts. Yachts were up on the, like, just everywhere. Total chaos. Yeah. So that's how close we came to drowning. And I was in multiple car accidents. Like, serious multiple car accidents. Yeah. So I could go on and on. That was the ego trying to take me out. That was the ego trying to take me out. Yeah. Because it knew more than me. It knew what I was here for, but I didn't. That was the difference. Okay? And so, and I could go on and on. On and on. I was telling the boys the other day, they were a little bit shocked, but at this time I was in Calgary, and I was smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. Yeah, crazy. You think about it. Yes, that was actually, it was 20. I don't know. I can't think of the times, but it was whatever it was. And she went to the store to get some things, and I showed it to her to get me a pack of cigarettes. And she said, "No, you don't know how to. No, you want to smoke? You damn well go there yourself." And I just got in a rage, and yeah, you. And I just went like this. Those glass aluminum doors, no screen doors. I went like this, put my fist through the first one. The bottom glass was up top, and I put my fist through that one, and I cut all the tendons and nerves across here. Here I am sitting there watching the blood go in total shock, and just watching it happen, and just minutes away from dying. So I could go on and on and on. That was the ego doing everything it could to take me out, because it knew way more than me that I'd be doing this. Yeah. And that's what it's doing for you too. To you, not for you. To you. Doing everything to mess up your marriage, mess up your relationship with your children, mess up your whole financial and poverty and scarcity and lack and getting fired, and like it just goes on and on and on and on. That's the ego. That's the ego. And what was awesome, coming back to Carol, he listened to me, because it's like, you've ever put a jigsaw puzzle together. If you've ever put a jigsaw puzzle together, and I was awesome at putting jigsaw puzzles. I really was. Not saying that in a bragging manner. I'm just saying I was really good at putting jigsaw puzzles together. And here was this. I'm putting this jigsaw puzzle together. I get all these pieces. I get all of the pieces, and then I start putting them in place. Like, oh, not good enough. Okay, that tells me 10 things right there. Oh, not worthy. That's another 10 of the same thing. I'm afraid of intimacy. Okay, that's another one. And on and on. And I just put that one here, that one there. This is the external, not good enough. And this is the ego twisting the religion piece. Yeah. and like they're just all over but I'm putting them all in these quadrants. And when oh, there it is. That's okay. That's a horse. Okay, there's a red barn roof up there. Oh yeah, and there's this pool at the bottom. Okay, that goes over there. And I'm putting not good enough, not worthy, not deserving, not loved. All of those, and I'm putting them all together to see how you see you and your world. That's what I'm doing. And when I got all the pieces, I said, okay, this is what you're doing. This is what's happening. Tell me if you're pleased with the results. And of course, you that's listening and everyone else that's taken it are totally distraught because it's the ego you're following. That's what it is. Okay? It's the ego you're following, not your divinity. Okay? So literally, Harry followed the ego, Carol followed the divinity. Yeah. Yeah. And so that whole, fighting that ego it will do everything it can to destroy you. It really will. And and in talking to Jamie, that we figured that we had enough light in us to assist Harry, but not against his whole family. That's what did it. The whole family went, get me out. Yeah. So anyway, everybody's got a free will. Yeah. Willingness, a free will to make decisions. Yeah. So it's rather unpleasant, actually, to see a friend that make those decisions. And that's not the first time. Not the first time at all. Just watching them making toxic decisions. Toxic. There was a young boy. I mentioned him just recently. I did a video on, and he had Rubinstein-Tabby syndrome. And I was there visiting, working with the father, and the son that he had, like, they had to taxi him to school because he got into so many fights on the way to school in a bus. That's right. And then what happened was I worked with him, and in my previous videos shared that I didn't want to because I had no idea what in the hell. I never worked with a 5-year young child, nor did I even hear or ever even know what Rubinstein-Tabby syndrome was. So I don't need to know those kind of things. I don't need to know that. I know that you are a divine being. All these pieces fit in, and your behaviors, no matter what they are, tell me where the red roof barn is, and where the 3 cows in the pasture are, and the vegetables in the garden, like where they all go. That's what I do. I just put them all together as they come in. What's amazing, like I mentioned earlier, that the largest we work with, I think, was 94 or 97, something like that. And everybody got amazing results. So I don't have to be one-on-one with each person. Yes, it gets more accurate at one. And at the same time, I work with, there was 12, I think it was 12. And one had asthma for 58 years. The other had migraine headaches for 38 years. It took 1 second for each of them for them both to be gone. Last time I talked, no return. How's that? How's that in comparison to the medical system, present medical? Is that similar? Yeah, I don't think so. So all I need is honesty, and that's you. That's the honesty. Need your honesty. Okay? Give me bullshit. Answer my question when I ask it. Just like Carol. She had no clue in the world. Husband didn't, but her son did some, but he never interfered like I asked him to. I demanded him to, actually. And I demanded her husband not. And so just smooth. No one interfered. And she answered all the questions. And she had never heard of anything before. Never heard of anything. Her son never even told her about working with me 5 years previous. So there was no warming her up. Like, okay, Carol, here's the deal. You say you got 24 hours to live. You planning on being honest with me here now? Okay? Because I'm not gonna babysit you. I need the answers and I need them immediately. She could at that was starting, so she could hardly talk, and she went, okay. And then I just went after her, and you could just see her starting to sit up, right her, and smile on her face when I would ask some questions. Remember, 2 days supposedly died. And, well, the doctors near killed her by giving her 2 doses of fentanyl a day. The most toxic chemicals you can find. Anyway, she fought that off, which is awesome. So the point of it is like, you bring a lot to the table. I bring a lot to the table. And she listened to me. She never once questioned me. She never once argued with me. She never once disagreed with me. She just, yeah, boom. It was amazing, like literally amazing. And yes, it was 10 days later. Jamie and I were coming back from another trip, and we dropped in to see her. And I did technique with her that allowed her to get stronger, because she had lost some of it. And it is hard to hold the first one. But then, boom. In her case, she was, we got stories of how well she's doing. Amazing. Oh, I'm telling you how invaluable, it's invaluable to bring honesty. I'm not judging. I don't give a damn if you've been a prostitute for 47 years. I don't care. I'm not interested. All I want to know is what's going on, how is it working, all of those kind of things. Okay? Next one is the open-minded. If you try to figure out what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, you are going to get lost in the first 5 minutes or 2 minutes. Okay? There is no way you're going to figure it out. It's not meant for the ego mind. Not meant for the ego mind. Okay? Actually, ego brain, my apologies. It's not the mind. That's your divinity. Okay? It's the brain. That's the ego with all the questionings. Shouldn't do this, and don't listen to those guys. They don't know what they're doing. Like all of that chatter, negative chatter. That's the ego. That's the ego. Okay? And, when we got there, Carol had already believed the doctor she was going to die in 2 days. And she was getting ready to go. Till we showed up, and within, I'd say maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you would never know it was the same lady. Yeah. Now there was a way to go, but that's how quickly those changes happened. He was honest all the way through, and she was, I think, 67 or something like that. 67 or 74. Like, once again, those things, unless I have them written, don't have. And so yeah, she's still doing amazing. Still doing amazing. So the next one is, once again, the willingness. Got to be willing. So we have a process here on Sunday the 5th, I think, here in Puerto Vallarta, and room for 70 people. Full intention of that being filled. Like, seriously. So if you're in the neighborhood, I would strongly suggest you do everything you can to be in Costa Rica for it. Yeah, yeah. So pretty exciting, as it's 11:44 here. If you're into numbers, and can it be gone instantly and never return? Yep. Can it be minimized and have to come back? Yeah. My dear business partner's mother. I had another go at her last night because she has not been willing to let go of her toxic program. Always hold them. But always hold on to something that would keep the externally referenced program running instead of the internal knowing operating. So there's a price to pay. I don't mean monetary. I don't mean monetary at all. So there you have it. Imagine whatever it is that you have going on for you, that could be gone in a couple hours. I mean, the boys come back last night, and they've been talking to people all over the world. I didn't get them all because it was like 11 o'clock. And one time 11 o'clock comes at night, because I get up at 4 in the morning, like, yeah, tell me tomorrow. Okay. So, I don't do late. And so there is major opportunity, especially those local, be in person. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be videoed. Don't know for sure. Never asked anybody, but I'm just guessing. And you'll be able to get it online, as far as I know. And the nice thing about it, we all know, for those of you that have been around a little, how powerful this is. You all know how valuable it is. There's nobody on the planet doing it. There is nobody on the planet doing this. Okay? Nobody. And guess how much the cost is? Guess how much it's going to cost you to get in that room if you're here, or whether you're online? Any idea? Tell you. It's zero. That's how much. That's how much it's going to cost you. Zero. We're doing that to get the momentum going all over the world. And yes, there are a few stipulations, like doing a video, describe your experience, this kind of thing. Those things are invaluable. Oh, like I've been using this one so often, is Amy from Vancouver. Amy from Vancouver. Probably used her 5 or 8 times already. Her story. there was one night that the dates got mixed up, and she was the only one on my call on Tuesday. She was the only one. I do a call on Tuesday and Thursday. The Tuesday one is for newcomers, and the Thursday is for those that took the process. Anyway, she was the only one, and she came in with migraine headaches and chronic back pain, and one other thing, not sure what it was. Okay, and so I just started I could focus strictly on Amy, which I did, and started the process. And she had already done something with me earlier in a group. And anyway, lo and behold, started, and we went all the way back. This is how this works. I'm working using a neurological and cellular process, not an ego-based intellectual one. Get that. I'm not using the intellect. No. No and no. Okay? So, I just started pampering all these questions, and she knew that the process, it's like tracing it all the way back to its origin. Tracing it all the way back to its origin, whatever these symptoms were. She had them all this time. She went all the way back. You ready for this? Are you ready to hear this? Okay? She went back to birth. To birth. She could tell in the womb that she was being born. Listen to this crazy story. And it's all videoed, so like there's no, that's impossible. No, it's all on video. Okay? And what it was her father wanted a boy, she, the girl. All her symptoms in her whole 61 years was a result of never being good enough for anybody, including her husband, including her kids, including her teachers, including her friends. She was never good enough because father wanted a boy. And that's how this works. That's how this works. Okay? Got that? Like, tell me. This is what we're talking about here. Talking about that, and with an ego energy, and how did that feel? No, not interested in how it effing felt. Okay? It's what message did you get? What message did you get, and how is that playing out in your world, your life today? That's what the question is. And so I instantly traced it, shifted everything to rewrite the history, neurologically and cellularly, bring her up through to the present. Everything was gone. Everything was gone. How crazy amazing is that? That's what I'm talking about. So go talk to a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a personal development program or whatever. And if you don't get those pieces, forget it. It will not disappear. It'll stay for sure. Okay? So that's what I'm talking about. So, as long as you're open, as long as you're willing, as long as you're honest, those things get cleared up, because I cleared it all up. Cleared it all up. Actually, she was in Vancouver. I was here in here, Costa Rica. And anyway, it was like she called. No, did she call? No, she texted me. Half an hour later, she said, all my symptoms are gone. We went to Vancouver 2 weeks ago. and met her, of course, and they're still gone. How's that? Did I talk to her? Could you explain these phobia, these whatevers? And no, it was a boom. That's what happened. Boom. This is the programs that got run, and boom, this is what you've been doing for 61 years. 61 years. Now, that's what I'm talking about. So it's not the traditional anything. All you have to do, and I'm guessing you know these 3 words by now: open-minded, honest, open-minded, and willing. You bring them. Whether it's in a room or whether it's online, whether it's in a cave, I don't care. You bring those 3, and I'm guaranteeing you will be staggeringly surprised at what happens in your life. Now, the only way it can slow it down is coming into the willingness. Oh no, I want to keep my victim. No, I want to keep the victim energy. Yeah, because I'm able to control people with the victim. Yeah, so I'm going to keep that. Well, you keep one, you're keeping them all. Keeping them all. That's how it works. So you decide before you come, okay? Please. I want to change my life in a most smooth and gentle, powerful way, that all of these toxic programs and patterns will be gone. Okay? Got it? That's what I'm asking you to do. That's your honesty, open-minded, and willing. That's what you do. I do the rest. 7:55. Huh. For those of you with the numbers pieces. We're not doing any of the personal development nothings. None. Absolutely none. Okay? So, very excited. Very excited. Especially knowing what these boys are doing, spreading this around the world. I don't know how many cities and how many countries. I think it's 6 countries. They did in a day. Yeah, we're going here and then we're going there, and maybe it's you'll be able to see a map, and wow, I can get to see, I can experience this in person. That would be cool. So anyway, there you have it. Very exciting. I am very excited for you, to say the least. Yeah. So I look forward to seeing you in my future, knowing that you're honest, open-minded, and willing. Remember, not to use that just on this. Use that for the rest of your life. Yeah, exactly. So, closing for the day. Look forward to seeing you and hearing you in my future. And you have a magnificent, magnificent day, no matter what the situation, no matter what the scenario. Okay? So take care. All the very best. And it was a pleasure. Bye for now.